disasters have continued to hit our country as there have been reports of several deaths in landslide-related incident since Thursday night. Sindhupalchok has once again faced the wrath of landslide as the district reported a number of deaths when the rural village was struck by deadly landslide. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. Landslide strikes Sindhupalchok rural village Lidi, 11 bodies recovered, 27 others missing. $594 new COVID-19 cases takes the infection tally in the country to 25,551. Federal capital reports 119 cases. A 6-member task force led by Nepal Communist Party General Secretary Bishnu Pauril formed in a bid to break the ongoing political stalemate of the ruling party. And Spanish giants Barcelona out of Champions League after a humiliating 8-2 defeat at the hands of Bayern Munich. At least 18 people have been killed in landslides that struck Sindhupalchok, Kalikot and Makwanpur. At least 37 are reported missing from Sindhupalchok, Lidi. Some 38 houses were buried under the landslide following incessant rainfall in Sindhupalchok's Lidi. The landslide at Lidi in Jugal Rural Municipality claimed 11 lives while 27 others are missing. Likewise, 4 of the injured were airlifted to Sindhupalchok headquarter Chautara Hospital, while the 5th victim was brought to the capital's trauma hospital. Meanwhile, Speaker Agni Sapkota, who hails from Sindhupalchok, inspected the Lidi region devastated by the landslide. The security personnel and local representatives have intensified the rescue and search operations. Likewise, in Kalikot's Mahavai rural municipality, 6 members of the same family were killed when their house was buried under the landslide. 4 of the family members are minors. 2 of the injured in the incident were airlifted to Surkhet for treatment. Meanwhile, 1 laborer was killed in Makwanpur's Thaha municipality in another landslide that struck the village. 1 excavator and 3 tippers were buried under the landslide in the incident. The country has recorded a total of 594 new COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours, taking the infection tally to 25,551. Kathmandu Valley reported 119 new cases of COVID-19, with 83 from Kathmandu district, 30 from Lalitpur and 6 from Bhaktapur. Likewise, the death tally in the country from COVID-19 has reached 100. Kathmandu district once again registered the highest number of daily spike in COVID-19 cases. BARCA has reported 71, Morang 63 and Dhanusha 55 cases. According to the Health Ministry, Sunsari, Mahottari and Bara each reported 24 cases. Bake reported 22, while Surkhet and Tanahu reported 21 cases each. Likewise, 240 individuals were discharged from various hospitals and isolation centers in the past 24 hours, taking the total number of recoveries to 17,077. Some 14,638 individuals are in different quarantine centers and 7,913 individuals are in isolation centers across the country. Moving on, the Nepal Communist Party has formed a task force to address the ongoing political dispute in the ruling party. The party, which is on the verge of a split due to what is being called an unequal internal power sharing, now has sought the basis of power equation to break this stalemate. We have more in this report.
Chairman duo K.P. Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal, through a dialogue on Friday, formed the task force led by the party's General Secretary Bishnu Pauril. The task force has 2 leaders, each close to the top brass leaders Oli, Dahal and Madhav Kumar Nepal. The committee includes influential leaders Bhim Rawal, Shankar Pokhrel, Surendra Pandey, Janardhan Sharma and Pampha Bhusal. The new committee has been tasked to formulate a consensus draft and produce the legwork for the standing committee meeting. The Friday development suggests that the ruling party is all poised to break the ice through a power sharing among the top brass. The task force will dwell on the schedule of General Convention, ministerial portfolios, division of responsibilities, among others. However, there are chances that the much-awaited consensus deal might still remain elusive, as the leaders in the task force were earlier charged of flaring disputes in the party. The intra-party wrangling in the ruling party heightened since the disgruntled faction led by Executive Chairman Dahal and majority of the members demanded the resignation of Premier Oli during the Standing Committee meeting that commenced from the 24th of June. Despite the Friday development billed as positive, only the coming days will tell us whether the dispute in the ruling party will finally come to an end or the party will continue to remain a hostage of indecision.
Hospitals which fall under most essential services should operate at all times. However, the hospitals in the country are opting for closure following the detection of the coronavirus in the health workers. We have more in this report.
Some 100 patients used to visit the emergency unit of the capital's TU Teaching Hospital under normal circumstances on a daily basis. However, the emergency ward has been closed since Wednesday evening. The hospital management closed the emergency services after 2 doctors and 4 nurses stationed at the emergency unit tested positive for coronavirus. The hospital management also sealed the annex ward on Friday after 8 of the health workers tested positive for COVID-19. The hospital is now waiting for the test results of other medical staff who had come in contact with the infected. Likewise, Thulikil Hospital shut down its services other than the emergency service after 4 patients and 1 member of the medical team tested positive for COVID-19. Elsewhere, in Chitwan's Bharatpur Hospital, the emergency services have been closed after a nurse tested positive. According to the Health Ministry, over 300 health workers have tested positive for coronavirus as of Friday. Meanwhile, as hospital managements are found to close the services, patients have been at the receiving end of the health crisis.
The Supreme Court has formed a committee to probe into the alleged corruption and to control the increased interference of middlemen. The committee is led by the Apex Court Justice Hari Krishna Karki. The Supreme Court Registrar Nrip Dhos Nirola informed that the committee comprised representatives from the Office of the Attorney General, Judicial Council, Nepal Bar Association and the Supreme Court Bar Association. The committee has been authorized to submit its report in 3 months and produce a work plan to end legal loopholes from the country's judicial system. Moving on, hotel and tourism entrepreneurs have urged the government to form a COVID-19 specific plan, citing the pandemic had hurt businesses and the overall sector. 21 institutions working in the tourism sector have jointly urged the tourism minister to consider the impact of the pandemic has had on hundreds and thousands of individuals employed in the sector and to facilitate for an appropriate environment to resume the industry from September. Local administration and the 3 tiers of government are found to prioritize community school buildings to be converted into makeshift shelters during emergencies. In this context, we had asked people in Palpa what problems have emerged due to the practice. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
विद्यार्थीको पढाइ एकदम अवरोध भइरहेको छ वरपरलाई पनि सबै वातावरणलाई असर परिरहेको छ क्वारेन्टाइन हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ अभिभावकहरुमा चाहिँ एउटा मानसिक रूपमा चाहिँ त्रास फैलिने यो समुदायमा पनि यो कोरोना फैलिन सक्छ कि भन्ने
सरकारले पहिले पूर्व तयारी गरेर अब आउने दिनहरुमा विद्यालयमा भन्दा अन्य ठाउँमा यस्ता व्यवस्थाहरु गर्न राम्रो देखिन्छ
वैकल्पिक सिकाइ पद्धति विकास गर्दै उनीहरुको पहुँचको सुनिश्चितता गरे भने आगामी दिनमा पनि यस्ता किसिमका क्षतिहरु शैक्षिक क्षति चाहिँ कम हुन सक्छ
त्यसको असर बालबालिकाहरुमा पर्न गएको छ जसले सामाजिक असर समुदायमा पनि त्रास भए सिर्जना गरेको छ
फर्निचरहरु जस्तै डेस्क बेन्चहरु एक ठाउँबाट अर्को ठाउँमा लैजाँदाखेरि टुटफुट हुन सक्छ
यो नगरपालिकाले गर्न पर्ने काम ओडाले गर्न पर्ने काम यो सरकारले पनि आँखा चिम्लाउने नगरपालिकाले नि आँखा चिम्लेर हाम्रो यो स्कुललाई चाहिँ के भन्दा क्वारेन्टाइन ल्याएर चाहिँ भूकम्प आउँछ निर्वाचन आउँछ यही स्कुलमा चाहिँ के भन्दा सबै कुराहरु थोपरेर राख्ने
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why is there delay in procurement of essential health equipment despite the rise in infections? Your options are A, no budget, B, unwilling to take risk, and C, clash of interests. Voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And with that, it's now time for our special segment, Media Watch.
A day after Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar made a controversial statement on Saturday, 8th of August regarding the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, the Nepal government expressed serious objection against it. By issuing a statement on Sunday evening, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs clarified that Nepal being the birthplace of Gautam Buddha is not the subject of discussion and debate. Indian Foreign Minister Jaishankar claimed that Buddha was a great Indian during a virtual conference held in the Indian capital, New Delhi. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while responding to the controversial statement, stated, "It is a well-established and undeniable fact proven by historical and archaeological evidences that Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini, Nepal." The statement further said, "Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha and the fountain of Buddhism, is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites." Meanwhile, the Indian government corrected its claim later on Sunday evening, saying there was no doubt that Gautam Buddha was born in Nepal. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs added that the statement from the Indian Foreign Minister was referred to the shared Buddhist heritage between Nepal and India. Spokesman for the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, Anurag Srivastav, clarified that Buddhism was spread gradually from Nepal to the rest of the world in due course of time. The Nepal government informed this week that it is preparing to submit the revised political map of Nepal comprising the territory of Limpiadura to the international community. In the first phase, the government will submit the map to the United Nations and then to neighboring countries, India and China. The Ministry of Land Management informed that the English version of the new map has been completed and printed. Meanwhile, it has been understood that the documents related to Nepal's map that were submitted while obtaining the membership of the United Nations resemble with the revised map. Nepal's revised political map was published on 20th of May this year and was endorsed by the Parliament on 13th of June. Prior to this, Nepal had not submitted its official map at the UN. However, adequate documents related to the border areas were submitted while obtaining the UN membership. The government says the revised map will be sent to several countries through diplomatic missions. The government has given first priority to the United Kingdom and the Permanent Security Council members, the USA, Russia, and France. India has been objecting over the revised political map published by Nepal. However, the southern neighbor has been overlooking the request by Nepal to settle the border issue through diplomatic means. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for Media Watch and Kantipur News Desk.
That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.